the cost of living in the Philippines, and I am absolutely 100% sick of buying this garbage in the Philippines. Here is my 1-month-old pressure washer, which I had to paint the entire, whatever you see, with white oil-based paint because it was already rusting. I had to rebuild this frame over here by putting that angle bracket on the bottom because the frame bent. There were 23 other things wrong with the machine, and now the wand blew apart. So I will show you the wand blowing apart after I start this. Oh yes, just for those of you who have not watched the previous video, the fuel on is this way, but on here the fuel on is this way. The choke on is that way, but the real choke on is this way. They can't even put the right labels on the machine here, but now the wand blew apart. After I rebuilt it, I tied it with wire and tape and banded it and bonded it as best I could with a piece of wire around the outside and 2 wire hose clamps. And now the inside here, the valve mechanism that turns over here, came apart, and it's no longer a viable option to turn it on or turn it off. There's no more on and off. It just on only, because the inside, there's a 1/8 inch rod in here, threaded. The threads loosened up and the rod came apart inside the housing, and now we're going to show you what happens. And I am sick. Now I have 12 hours of working on this machine to get it like this, between painting it, aligning this frame, putting this block of wood in here so that the motor, the pump stays parallel to the motor, putting a 1/2 inch of shims in there because the threads ran out, and painting it, fixing this wire which fell apart, and aligning it and welding the bracket on. So if a Filipino who works very hard for their money bought this machine in the same store that I bought this machine, and they bought this machine, the original wand did not even work at all. It did not go on and off. And the original pressure washer at the store, the pull cord froze up on the first pull. They could not get the cord back in. So for the Filipinos that think I am complaining about things in the Philippines, I'm not complaining about things in the Philippines. I'm complaining about the things you sell in the Philippines that you have no other choice to buy from than China. So basically, I'm complaining about Chinese tools in the Philippines that don't work. So let's start this up. The switch got hung up. I had to pull it 10 or 15 times before the switch made contact because the brass, I don't know why. I don't know why. Well, we're going to start this up on choke. I'm going to put the hose on. When I turn this switch, that's what happens. This is what happens. Internally, it fell apart. So the rod that makes the little foam cup at the base is pushed down against the bottom, and there's no way to pull it back without taking it completely apart again. So I'm going to bring it to the store for the second time and get a new wand. This is what you get when you buy tools in the Philippines. They sell junk here. Bring your own tools.